Howdy, howdy, this is Blue Otter, and today we are playing Times and Galaxy. No matter how hard I try, whenever I visit home, my bags come back filthy. Dust everywhere, terrible, horrible dust. Stop packing so much dust. You should try harder to be clean, it's important. Yeah, where is home? I had to visit the family on Humania, my father's birthday. I don't mind going home. Every so often for a short visit, very short. It's not my family, we get along fine. But I have allergies, lots of allergies. I'm much more suited to the cold vacuum of outer space than the surface of a planet known for sentient pollen. It hunts you down, it does. Sentient pollen hunts you down. Yeah, how was the birthday? It was nice, indoors by my request. I'm the only allergenic one in my family. But they do their best to accommodate. Lovely of them, as always. But I'm always happier to come back here. After all, home is where you can breathe a sigh of relief, using your full lung capacity to do so. Alright, just looking to see if there's anything in any of these spots. What is this? The game is called Don't Touch the Obelisk. The key is to not touch the obelisk. Touch. All right, going in to the newsroom. Hey, Jerkbot. Nice work with the robos last cycle. Took you long enough. Yeah, no thanks to you. Yeah, thanks for pawning it off on me. Hey, not my job. I'm a reporter, not some kind of robo whisperer. And besides, you got it done. Eventually. You're a total dinkus, you are. So what are you working on? Someone has got things done. Someone has to get things done around here. Yeah, and it's me. You spend all your time slacking off and chit-chatting, while I cover the real stories. ER paused as if remembering something. Oh, right. Actually, you remember that cat show you covered? The one you thought was hilarious? How could I forget? Yeah, the one you thought was hilarious? Haha. Well, it was. Especially after I had to cover that humane shoe exhibit. Your shutters. Humans are so weird about shoes. And there were so many of them. But anyways, that Roccat L35L13, they modified their body again. This time to join the robo fights. Not the all-og grand slapdown, but they swept the intern og minor smackfest, which is pretty impressive for a beginner. Too bad that the story is being written by a lesser intern. Oh wow, that's so cool. Wish I could have covered that instead. Yeah, wow, that's so cool. Heh. You're so easily impressed. But yes, it is pretty cool. Let's see. We go up here. We have, oh, let's talk to Billy first. Sigh. Orb season is almost over. I always get so sentimental about it. The definitive ending of it all, the winners, the upsets, the end of a chapter for all those teams. Worst of all, though, is the wait for the next season. I always get so bored in that gap. Yeah, how long is the gap? Do you have any hobbies to pass now? Yeah, how long is the gap? The gap is about 90 cycles, which is 90 cycles too long. I try to focus on other work during that time, but my mind always wanders back. And my sympathies, yeah, you need a non-sports hobby. Not the first time I've heard that. But I don't really want one. I'm just complaining out loud. Don't worry about it. That was an achievement here that Billy Cinnamon's about the end of the season. Richard, what is this column? Journalism. And this is why we should ban public transportation. It's a think piece about banning public transportation. We're not running this. We'll see about that. Ursula. She said we're not running it. I'll go write something else. Something even more controversial. You see what I have to deal with? Here's what I have today. Silly cube recall. Parallel universe discovered. Okay, as much fun as the silly cube recall would be, parallel universe discovered would be really cool. I think I can go back. I knew that silly cube was a bad idea. Toys shouldn't bend the law of physics, let alone break them. Wait, I meant to do the other one. Okay, I guess since I covered the other one, I meant to do the other one. I meant to do the parallel universe, but that's okay. Time for another fashion tips column. My readers demand it. Do you know how I make our drab blue and purple work clothes look so good? Visit a tailor bot? Well, that's what everyone else does. Putting their fashion into the hands of a robo, letting an algorithm dress them? Pathetic. The secret is epaulettes, a couple of inches of fabric sewn into each arm. These shoulders don't pad themselves, so you have to give them a little zip. It's my finest fashion secret, and I'm giving it to the masses. Truly a columnist of the people. Yeah, I don't think shoulder pads add much. You're just jealous. You're the size of a child's silhouette. My tips are wasted on those who need them most, and yet my duty is to shout them into the void. And so I will, and so I will. Plus, I can bang that column out quick and then leave early. Time to get started. Yeah, I always cut shoulder pads out of my dresses growing up. Ursop seems to be singing to himself. Thy sacred name is given, points you towards which you're driven. Oh, hello there, Blue Otter. Perhaps you recognize the tune from famed Verge mortality play, Priton to Joy, a play to which I happen to have tickets tonight. What is Priton to Joy? Not my cup of boil. Yeah, what is Priton to Joy? Have you been rebooting under a rock? Priton is one of this galaxy's most elegant song cycles, featuring such classics as Oh, the Captain Won, Oh, the Captain Won. To hear it sung live is to be transported. We're gonna ship I'm transported enough, thanks. Yeah, sounds nifty. You know, I've never had anyone with whom to share my 12D box seats. Would you care to join me? As it's date, just as friends though. Oh, thank you for the offer, but no. Yeah, just as friends though, right? A friendly plan. That's all tonight will be. Copy that. Who do I think I am? Copybot? Just a bit of office humor. Between platonic co-workers. Well, I best get going. Looking forward to tonight in a normal way. Dress code for robos is gleaming, which shouldn't be a problem for you. I say that as a friend and a colleague. You're pushing that just a little too hard on that. Alright, do we have anyone else? You don't have anything. Let's check the garden and the cafe. There's Copybot. I used to come up here to think. Now I relish even a moment of not thinking. Like organic beings, we robos only have so much memory. Quite poetic when you think about it. Oh no, I thought about something. Oh, what is this? This was... There are large mounds of freshly disturbed around the soil. It seems around the bending never was like a graveyard. The ghostly plant seems almost happy. Rainbow corn is in its teenage phase of growth, lanky, awkward, and angsty. What's that new thing on its very top you wouldn't understand? Nobody understands. Okay, I feel like I still have a few more plants I think left to get. Oil cake instead of a cupcake. Okay, yeah, we're good. Yeah, we're good. Okay, and what's on this other side? Oh, that's the... Yeah, the ship captain. Okay, we can talk to someone up here. Question for you, Blue Otter. You enjoying this internship of yours? It's great. I'm loving it. It's okay. I'm definitely learning. It's bad. I'm gonna laugh when I leave. Yeah, it's great. I'm loving it. Well, that's a relief. I'd hate to have started to have started to like you only to hear you aren't happy here. That'd bum me out. And I hate being bummed. So I'm glad that's not the case. You don't have to love every second of something for it to be worthwhile. You gotta ride the ups and learn to navigate the downs. Because there's gonna be so many of them. So many downs, that is. Just the way it is. So try to see them all as learning experiences, okay? It'll make you the best sort of robo you can be. Alright, we just got to... We'll go back down. Almost. I've got another couple rooms to go. Oh, Blue Otter. I can't tell you how good it feels to be back in my own body. After the mess of last cycle, I can just stretch my arms. Not to mention, since one of the shuttle bots was in my body, they already fielded all the calls complaining about Gravity's stories. Glad it all worked out. Happy to have helped. Any good updates on the legal dramas? Yeah, glad it all worked out. Now don't go getting a big head about this though. Saving the scanner is noble and all, but your job is reporting. Yeah, any good updates? No. I'm woefully behind since things have been so slammed. First, Gravity's disaster cycle on the assignment desk, and then the robo mix-up. I've barely had time to watch a mini-sode of Law in Orbit. Reception bot size. Anyway, we should both get back to work. Lots to catch up on after the disaster that was last cycle. Blue Otter, my bully is bullying me again. They are being meaner than the meanest they have ever been. I ran over here to get away from them. Yeah, who are they? I will go tell them to stop. What are they saying to you? Yeah, who are they? I will go stop them. We have to be quiet. They are here in the room with us. Wait, is it me? No, you have been so kind with me. And also conversational to me as well. My bully is myself. I am my own bully. I don't know why it is that happens to me. That was an achievement about learning his story. But sometimes I am so mean to myself. Like I am angry in my own head. At my own head. It happens when I make a mistake. Well, just don't make mistakes. Or even sometimes when I am doing things very well. I don't want to report on myself. I do not think that would not help, but I don't know what to do. Sorry that's happening to you, Orin. Can I speak to your bully self? Would it help if I bullied you instead? Yeah, can I speak to your bully self? Thank you for listening, Blue Otter. To be truthful with you, it is feeling nice to be speaking about it, even just a little. If I don't, then I am alone with the bully. And they are very mean, even when they are not speaking. I am often somehow feeling their glare. But now I am also feeling there's someone to tell. But now I'm also feeling there is someone to tell who will help support me in standing up to myself, which already is making this feel easier. Oh, and if anyone ever bullies you, Blue Otter, I will start driving the ship very slowly on the way to their stories. That's why you're nice to some of the people. It's because then sometimes they can... the latest stories from Times and Galaxy are displayed here alongside a framed copy of the Times and Galaxy's first issue. Is actually it is on actual tree paper. How disgusting. This cycle stop story is about neo-human scam artist Lank 600G7 Nee Pantsenstein, who has been hawking bad tech to curious dirt dwellers. Beep, beep, beep. What hurts? Oh, it's just you. Managed to unscramble the crew, did you? I'll admit, I'm a little bit impressed. Will you take me on as apprentice? No, thank you. Thanks for believing me. I wouldn't go that far, kid. I was doubting you for sure. But you got it done in the end. Which is more than can be said for lots of the bozos you encountered in this line of work. Tell me about the bozos. I can't do that. It would be terribly unprofessional. As a medbot, I never disclose details of my patients' lives or their bozo status. Now get out of here, you nosy little bot. I should have asked the other question, but that's okay. All right, now we gotta go back to engineering. Oh, we've got you. Vivica is talking to the mechanic. Well, okay, fine, okay. You know where to find me if you change your mind. The mechanic slouches away. Yeah, what was that about? I'm trying to get him to join Douge, but boy howdy is he ever digging in his claws. He's been on board for eons, way past the probationary and apprenticeship periods. You know, he pays the fines not to join every year. Granted, those fines do include a certain amount of community service, helping janitor bot take out the trash. Come to think of it, he probably likes that. Arg. What do you care so much if he joins? Yeah, why do you think he doesn't want to? Well, I shouldn't be spreading rumors, but I love rumors. And rumors has it that back on Og, the mechanic was a member of the notorious Husker gang, the Augur faction who refused to work in the robo factories, choosing instead a life of crime and lawlessness. They're an extremely anarchical and deregulated group, opposed to everything a union represents. She stares into the middle distance. But I imagine taming someone of that wild energy. You seem kind of fixated on the mechanic. Yeah. What? No. The mechanic is a completely intolerable, insufferable, lewd, strong, chiseled, mysterious, and incredibly strapping augur. You know, I feel kind of loopy, sweaty, hot, bothered. Is there air quality different in here? I'll have to get Duje to look into it. Yeah, you do that. Let's go back here. Oh, hey, Blue Otter. How's it? Hold on. I'm getting a call. Probably spam, but you never know. Oh, hey. Hi. Oh, yes. I'm very interested in extending my warranty. Sorry, Blue Otter. Need to take this. Important scanner business. Want some oil? I just filtered it fresh. Sure. You accept the mug of oil Shutterbot X offers you and take a sip. It's smooth with just a hint of grit and the lightest tar aftertaste, so decadent. Good, right? Did you perfect the recipe? That's my most closely guarded secret. Just kidding. I pulled all the robos on the scanner and anyone who's ever visited. Eventually, through all the feedback, I created the perfect oil. Pretty genius, right? Yeah. Well, come in and help yourself to some whenever you like. And if you have feedback on the recipe, I'll be happy to listen. RNG, don't like those odds. LNG, now we're talking. Okay, do not have a... All right, and I've got all of those already, so don't have to worry about that. Now we can go on to, to our assignment. Yeah, let's do it. Good things these shuttles fly on autopilot. You don't have your license because you've only been alive for 13 cycles. And this is Cube Toy Destroy Boy. Yeah. So this was a story I covered a while back. Kind of interesting. I was kind of considering this. I meant to click the other one. There's a hushed silence as the first speaker walks up to the mic. For some reason, they make a throat clearing noise, despite not having a throat. Thank you for gathering. I am Zenkel Morpum, the Solar Government Minister for Product Safety. Toys, they are a source of fun and learning for the youth of today. This is why it is with a very heavy heart, metaphorically speaking, that I have determined the product Silly Cube 2 from the Lunar Fun Company to be unfit for sale. Our investigations have found the Silly Cube to pose several safety concerns to consumers, especially human children. Zenkel shuffles through their notes and clears their throat again. I have a quote here from one of our investigating scientists. It just exploded. Barreled is in the back having a fit. You said this is for children. Expletive redacted. Zenkel pauses somberly. Strong words from my colleague in the testing department. As of now, the Silly Cube should be pulled from shelves and consumers... I missed the rest of that. More information on how to remove it safely will be available through our hotline. And now we will have a word from Lunar Fun representatives. Zenkel yields the podium to Lunar Fun execs. Greetings. I am Happert Fun Jr. When my father founded the Lunar Fun Company, he did so with a goal in mind, to see the delightful smiles of children. And so I come before you today to apologize deeply. I had been assured that the problems with the Silly Cube were fixed and would never knowingly release a substandard product. My deepest apologies, especially to those children whose smiles were soured by the inferior quality of our toy. Although my father would have called this character building, And indeed, thank you for those inspiring words, Mr. Fun Jr. Once again, Lunar Fun is very sorry. We are working to regain your trust. Thank you for all your time. We will now take questions. All right, we're gonna go through this one by one. Oh, hey there. You with the press? Can I get a quote for TNG? Were you harmed by? What did you think of the apology? Yeah, were you harmed? Oh no. I work in product safety with Zenkel Borpum. I was on the team that tested the Silly Cube too, so I came to see the recall announcement. I used to go to a lot of these actually. You like announcements? What's your professional opinion of the Silly Cube? Yes, of course. Professionally speaking, as a member of the product safety team, I would say that the Silly Cube 2 is quite unsafe. I mean, Zenkel already covered it, I think. And I'm inclined to agree. Toys should not catch fire unless clearly indicated. And they certainly shouldn't explode. I think we can all agree on that. But talk to Zenkel if you didn't already. They're an expert in the field. Not to mention a delight to talk with. You're with the news, right? Yeah, Times and Galaxy at your service. Good. Because I'm here to tell my story. My daughter, Crunch, has been corrupted by the Lunar Fun Toy Company. She's turning 9 this year. Well below the age they introduced pyrotechnics in school. But the Silly Cube 2, with its harping trombos or whatever it is, got her all excited about fire. Now she and her friends are all about explosions and making their own knives. That sounds very dangerous. Have any of them been hurt? No. But it's the principle of the thing. I should have been the one to decide when she's ready for demolitions. Other parents may think that it's fine, letting their kids play hot rocks and the like. But times have changed, and I want my daughter to change with them. There's more to life than trash heaps and setting things on fire. What do you mean by that? Does she like trash? Yeah, what do you mean by that? I want my daughter to show the system a new type of augur. One who is not merely obsessed with junkyards and improvised mechanical engineering. It sounds like Crunch likes those things. Shouldn't Crunch get to pursue her own interests? Does it matter if she's having fun? Yeah. Enough. That's preposterous. Crunch is far too young to know what's good for her. Good day to you. Yeah, knowing what's good for you, I mean, that's fine when you're talking about, like, you know, eating your vegetables and making good choices about like going to sleep on time and not staying up too late so your body can get an adequate amount of rest. But like, as long as your interests aren't hurting anybody, I don't think that that's a problem. This is Mr. Fun Jr. I don't see why I have to stick around here with the rabble, though. It's important to answer questions and appear engaged, sir. Oh, here's one. Did you have something to say? Can I get a quote for Times and Galaxy? What is Lunar Fun doing to make up for this oversight? Was it really surprised knowing the issues with the last Silly Cube? Yeah, what are they doing to make up for it? We have refunded the toys and issued a formal apology. What else is there? I'm already here having to put up with stupid questions from hacks like you. What Mr. Fun is trying to say, of course, is that Brimpro, the precocious one here, for Toy Boy magazine. Mr. Fun, Mr. Gorms, would you say that Lunar Fun hates children? And indeed, would you agree that this fiasco with the Silly Cube 2 is part of an anti-child agenda at your company? He's not affiliated. Hey, can you back off? Hold on, fellow reporter. I'm mid-interview. Did he introduce himself? No, he said he was from Toy Boy magazine. No, I just like, he's not affiliated with... That's correct. Toy Boy is unaffiliated with the Times and Galaxy. We have a much stronger focus on toys and much younger mass thread. What? Who is this horrible tyke? This is why I can't stand the toy business. Everywhere you turn, sticky pestering children. What Mr. Fun means by that, of course, is... I knew it! You do hate children. And fun itself, I would imagine. And you have a vendetta against good design. I'm not going to stand here and be insulted. One of you do something about this unpleasant juvenile. Yeah, could you just answer his questions? Indeed, you could. And I have a very important one. Will the Silly Cube line be discontinued entirely? That's a great question. Of course not. Those things are like Bucks printers. The next one is going to be way better too. None of this exploding nonsense. Really? That's excellent news. Oh, Gubbo will be so excited. Thank you for your time, Mr. Gorms, Mr. Fun. I'll let you carry on your interview. Brimpo bows out gracefully. Although he was the one interrupting in the first place. Yeah. Well, that was something. Annoying is what it was. But we always enjoyed meeting the fans, don't we? No? Anyways, what did you want to ask? How will Lunar Fun improve its product testing? Do you have a message for distraught parents? That wasn't bad. Yeah. What do you have for improving? Fired all the useless people, for one. Wow. Isn't he a ray of sunshine? What Mr. Fun means is that although we conducted a thorough audit of the department to ensure that we can serve Lunar Fun customers best. A lot of layabouts in that department, but not anymore. Lunar Fun has used this experience to foster a new culture of safety and awareness at our factories. Yeah, that sounds like a fun place to work. Gorms wipes his increasingly moist brow. Are you getting that down? Do you have a message for distraught parents? A message to parents. I got a message. You should be happy we entertained those little hellions. So some of them got a little singed. You know what that is? Character building. When I was a kid, my father used to throw me in the moat just because he thought it was funny. These parents are much too precious about things like their children's limbs. Okay. Just because you had childhood trauma or something you didn't like to you as a child doesn't mean that necessarily you need to keep doing it for the next generation. That's just called it's generational abuse, and yeah, not good. What Mr. Fun of course means by this is what I meant is what I said, and I'll tell you this: when we put the next Silly Cube out, you bet they'll be clamoring for it. No children can resist the insatiable promise of a cube that is silly. Now get out of my way. Mr. Fun waves a hand to dismiss you after that rousing manifesto. Wow. Do we talk to him at all? No. Can we? I'm going to have to add the apology writer to speed dial at this rate. Yeah. Yeah, we already did that. I'm trying to click out of it to go. There we go. I think this is the... Yeah, Brimpo. Hello. You're with the Times and Galaxy? I very much admired your publication. The piece on the Silly Cube 2 was quite well written. I am Brimpo, the precarious one. Pleased to meet you. I wrote that piece. Are you from... Yeah, I wrote that piece. Wow. I loved that piece. I thought your take on the Silly Cube 2 was quite informed. I was actually supposed to write on it for my own publication, Toy Boy magazine, but I couldn't due to a quantum termite infection. Brimpo sighs forlornly. But my good friend and colleague took over the assignment, and I think he did a fantastic job. Did you ever get to play with the Silly Cube too? Was that friend named Gubbo? Oh, did you know Gubbo? He covered the Silly Cube for the Toy Boy, but he didn't mention meeting a real reporter. He was probably overwhelmed by the Cube's 31 wacky functionalities. I know I would be. Why isn't Gubbo following up? Did you ever get to play? I didn't. Sadly, the copy Gubbo bought for the office exploded. That's actually why I'm here today. Gubbo couldn't write the follow-up because of his burns. Yeah, is he okay? He is supposed to make a full recovery, which is great news. Everyone in the office was incredibly concerned. Our editor-in-chief even frowned slightly when she heard the news, which for her is a wild expression of grief. I'm glad he's okay. Who would have guessed this? Like, yeah, I'm glad he's okay. I'm incredibly relieved myself. Gubbo and I may occasionally have our disagreements, but Toy Boy just wouldn't be the same without him. Brimpo sighs, looking resolved. Thank you for speaking with me, by the way. It's so wonderful to talk to a fellow journalist. All right, we've got... looks like a JB. Hey, I know you. You're that loser bot who interviewed me at the launch. Have you gotten any less boring? Do other janitor bots think you're cool now? Do they? Yeah, of course. They saw me with the Silly Cube and they thought I was totally lunarific. JB seems quite dejected. Are you okay? Yes. No. I don't know. I'm here because the stupid cube thing was falsely advertised. It's supposed to be a coolest thing ever. I thought it would make me a total hit. You know, make all the other janitor bots really notice how different I am. But no one was interested in it. And a bunch of them were just mad. Why do you need a cube to be cool? I think you're already cool. Yeah, why were they mad? Well, when the cube exploded, it took out one of the break room oil machines. It was a spillscape like you'd never seen. Oil, plastic bits, and too many janitor bots trying to clean it up. Cleaning products everywhere. JB pauses as if reminiscing. They actually seem kind of wistful. It was kind of fun, to be honest. Plus, I got to flex my spill skills again. Was anyone hurt? Hurt? Nah. Well, Janitor Bot 22 got their arm torn off, but we put it back on no problem. It was kind of a fun mess, actually. Usually, I don't talk to the other janitor bots much. They don't understand me, you know? Hey, thanks for talking to me, too. You're okay. Maybe a little tiny bit cool. And make sure you put down that I'm not a regular janitor bot. Put down that I know how to party. You got that? JB, the cool janitor bot, takes down lunar fun. There's your story. JB execute a flawless hang loose gesture. It's pretty cool. All right, I think we go up to here. Oh, we've got, hold on. You found a porterbell seed. The porterbell is famous across Dorp for its fleshy exterior and blood red chlorophyll. It is a photosynthetic organism, just a particularly bleedy one. Ew. I hope my announcement wasn't too dry. It's so hard to inject fun into matters as serious as public safety. but I want everyone to have a good time and enjoy themselves, while still taking into account the gravity of the situation, of course. Was a fun announcements. Our toys recalled often. How did you get into product safety? Yeah, our toys were recalled often. Not often, no, but on occasion. A few years ago, Radeon released an intergalactic ship speedster set, which required assembly as so many toys do, and an integral joint got mislabeled. Well, you can imagine, when all those excited little children set their little ships on course, they would merely catapult across the room. Required many a medical extraction from the goo of apparent zeal, I'll tell you that much. Serious business. And wouldn't you know, one little boy from humanity was sent every missing joint. He was having a great time with his joints-only intergalactic speedster set. Ah, the innocence of children. But our most often recalled toy is the Tamagotchi, just because pets eat them. Has Lunar Fun product ever been recalled before? How do you test the safety? Can you elaborate on exploding safety concerns? Lunar Fun, There were some concerns raised about the original Silly Cube, but we found it to be within the bounds of safety. But sometime back, I believe my little notary set had unreasonably sharp pens. So we did have to recall that. This was before my time as minister though, and nothing as serious as exploding. Although I do think pen sharpness is no joking matter. So the Silly Cube 2 issues are unprecedented. Can you elaborate on exploding safety concerns? This is something of a contentious issue. AUG children are generally introduced to pyrotechnics at a relatively young age, so it has been argued that the Silly Cube 2 is a fine toy in that regard. However, the Silly Cube 2 is marketed for a wide audience of consumers, including humans, who are notoriously susceptible to fire and exploding injury. And even more traditional AUG parents generally expect a fire-causing toy to be appropriately labeled, lest it cause damage to their abode or trash heap. So we found the product to be quite lacking in that regard. I must say thank you for your thorough questions, and best of luck with your story. I think that's everyone. Yeah, that would be everyone. Unless we can... Nope, it's just a press room. Alright, so let's look at building a story. Hold on. Alright, so we have toy recalled, dangerous toy recalled for exploding. Boy reporter hurt by cube. That's sensational. Product safety minister Zankel Morphin made an announcement about the Lunar Fun's Silly Cube 2 toy. Lunar Fun's popular I'm just gonna call it Cube. Cube 2 has been a sweeping success, but now safety concerns have seen it pulled from shelves. CEO Happert seemed unconcerned with the damage wrought by his company's faulty product. I could really roast him. I feel like doing that on this time. Lunar Fun's Silly Cube has deemed to be unsafe and recalled during an announcement by the product safety minister. Minister for Product Safety revealed that concerns had been raised about the safety of the original Silly Cube, but it was found within the bounds of safety standards. Brimpo, the precarious one, an intrepid child reporter, proposed the Lunar Fun Silly Cube failure could be part of an anti-child agenda. That's going to go against... I don't have anything to back that up. Okay, so I think this one's probably good. Quote, toys, they are the source of fun and learning for the youth of today, said Product Safety Minister Zankel Emporium. This is why I can't stand the toy business. Everywhere you turn, sticky, pestering children, said Mr. Fun Jr. on the subject of Lunar Fun's core consumer base. Junior 22 got their arm torn off, said customer B. JB in the Silly Cube explosion. The next one's going to be way better too, said Mr. Fun Jr. of a proposed future Silly Cube. None of this exploding nonsense, he continued. Lunar Fun has used the experience to foster a new culture of safety and awareness at our factories. No child can resist the insatiable promise of a cube that is silly, said Mr. Okay. I mean, if I'm really roasting them, which one is it? This is probably the one to go with. Customers are probably upset about this since toys are bought by customers with bugs and they likely expect the toys to work as promised. Injured boy expected to make a full recovery from his Silly Cube injuries. Complainant Alana Void Spotter claims that Lunar Fun has corrupted her daughter with the unexpected pyrotechnic toy. Yeah, but that's, if I'm not mistaken, that's kind of the culture that they're from. I could do this, and that's going to be a -1 on the readership, -1 on the reputation, but I think I have enough to get over that. Okay, so I think we got everything. Yes. So, a boy reporter injured by cube. Lunar Fun's Halbert seemed unconcerned with the damage wrought by his company's faulty product. Revealed that there had been previous concerns, but they were within the safety standards. This is why I can't stand children. And then injured boy expected to make a full recovery. Yeah, the only time that I'm talking about that boy is like at the beginning and the end. Yeah, it's ultimately it's gonna go up, so it is more sensationalized. Our reputation as sellers, thanks to you. And so concludes that one. We are now internship cycle 14, which we will continue in the next episode. Thank you for watching. Have an utterly fantastic day and see you next time.